Hi, James Maxwell, Superstar Studios with here, and I want to take a little bit of a quick look at the Cairo flash, or that one scene in Cairo when Indiana Jones is fending bad guys off with a bullwhip. I took a little closer look at the scene, and what struck me was the fact that it's not a continuous motion, nor could it be considered a flash. We fans have kind of turned it into that, but that's not what's going on. So hopefully I will be able to intercut scenes from the video, and we can talk a little bit about what's actually going on, because it's actually really interesting from a martial point of view. If you want to know how to do the flash, there are plenty of videos. I think I have a video. I know plenty of other people have done it. For this video, I'm using an 8-foot bullwhip by Louis Fox, because it is believed that an 8-foot whip was used in that scene, and also because tight confines here in my backyard. So, Indy and Marion are being chased. Picks Marion up, puts her in the cart, cut to him pulling the whip off his hip. And this is where things start. What's his purpose here, right? Character and stuff. He wants to get these guys off of them, obviously because they're being chased. So, that first motion that he does, he pulls it off his belt. Now, we're not getting into nuances, the leg kick and all of that other stuff. We're just going to talk about the actions themselves. There's basically two guys. One to his right, and one to his left. And he needs to get them to move, to create space, right? When I talk about the whip as a martial tool, I always consider it a space, an area denial tool, right? I use it to deny your ability to inhabit a space that I don't want you to inhabit, right? And this is an excellent example of that. Whip comes off the belt. First thing he does is this guy, I think it's off to his right, I'm not sure, we'll just kind of go with it here. He gets him to move back. How does he get him to move back? Well, if you watch that first motion, what he's doing is he's bringing the whip up like an uppercut and making it so that he cannot occupy that space. Gets him to move back. Doesn't necessarily have to be a crack either. I think it was edited to be a crack, but it doesn't have to be a crack, right? All we're doing is moving this person out of the way by that uppercut, because now, as it moves at you, you're going to move back, and that's exactly what this gentleman does. But then he re-engages. He comes back into the area that Indiana Jones does not want him to be. What does he do? So we've got him to move back, and then there's a pause. It's not like a flowing motion, like a crack sequence. Very quickly, because he does not stop or continue to disengage, he re-engages. Indiana Jones then takes the whip and basically, takes it to the back, right? Like that. This is kind of hard, but it also happens really, really quickly. Like, really quickly. But it's not flowing. So, moves him back, and then gets him to move again, and kind of chases him off. While he's doing this, this other guy is then moving in. What does he do? He does basically the same thing. If we were to mirror it, it's the same motion, this overhead crack, takes it again to kind of get him to duck and move away. There we go. And then we have some other scenes, but I really want to look at this. What's the first thing he does? Is he doesn't want them to get close. Get back. He doesn't. There's the consequence of that. This other guy comes in. Same thing on this side. One thing that's always struck me about the scene is it's very desperate. It's not flowing. It's not artistic. It's not gentle. These guys are trying to kill them. So it's very much, and like I said, it happens really, really fast. But, moving them back, no, right? And then it looks like from the back, he's continuing to do that, right? He's working these guys over. This guy moves in, he doesn't want him there. That guy moves in, he doesn't want him there. He might move in again, right? And we're doing these big overhand shots to keep these people from invading the space. Of course, then the cart takes off, Indiana Jones is there by himself. You don't see the resolution of all of this. But that's kind of how the Cairo scene happens. And, like I said, from a martial standpoint, it's very, very interesting with the whip as an area denial tool. I don't want you occupying this space. I'm not going to let you occupy this space. Stay out of this space, right? That's what he's doing. He's creating space and making these gentlemen rethink their life choices about whether or not they wish to occupy that space that Indiana Jones is using. Now, in another context, another really good way is kind of how Anthony likes to throw, and how he gets these long strings of motion with these longer whips and just keeps it moving. Again, denying the space. You don't want to close on that. It's very difficult to do so. If you think you can close, it's probably a trap. So again, this idea of this space denial, and Harrison Ford's Indiana Jones demonstrates it actually really, really good in Raiders of the Lost Ark. So, interesting take, I think maybe, but trying to examine character motivations and then applying martial ideas and skills to those motivations so we can actually see it come to fruition. So, thoughts, comments, questions? Bring them down below. As always, I'm James Maxwell Practice. Stay safe.